In this video, I'm going to show you how to pair up the wireless remote to the new Lewmar Access electric shallow water anchors. We're going to be doing it with just one anchor, and I'm going to show you how to do both anchors on one remote. When you get your shallow water anchors, you're going to be mounting, this is called the receiver box. You can mount it anywhere in here inside your boat, but it's not going to have the cover on it. It comes with 4 screws. If for some reason it is already installed, you're just going to remove these 4 Phillips head screws and take these covers off. So if you're looking at this box with the button on top, in the lower left-hand corner, there's going to be another button in here. That is the program button. When you push and hold it, that red light will come on, then you can let it go. Now you only have a few seconds to do this programming before you see the light flash and it turns off. That's going to take it out of programming mode. The next thing you're going to need is your remote. Now this is the tricky part. Not all of these remotes are the same. I have 2 remotes for both of our anchors, and when I paired this first remote, this was the correct position to work it. When I paired this remote, this was the correct position to work it. So you're going to have to try this both ways. What I would recommend is starting with the lanyard loop on the up side. This is going to be your down button, and this is going to be your up button. Your down button is what you're going to push in order to program both of these together. If you go through this programming steps that I'm about to show you and this does not work, then what you're going to need to do is flip it around the opposite direction and have that lanyard loop on the bottom, and that will now be your down button. You're gonna have to try it both ways and see which one works. So the first way I'm gonna show you how to program this remote is what is called momentary mode. When you push the button, the anchor is gonna go down, and you're gonna have to push and hold it to make it go down. And then the same thing to go back up. You'll have to push and hold it to go back up. So to start the process, I'm gonna push and hold the program button until the light in the receiver turns red. Then I'm gonna push the down button, and you should see this blink one time. Then the remote's gonna blink, and then this light should blink and then turn off. Now we need to test it and see if the anchor actually works. Now we're going to repeat that process on the other receiver if you're going to do these for both. If you're only doing one, then that's all you need to do. Now, if you want them to be operating on 2 different remotes, then on this receiver, you would use the other remote, go through that same process. But I want both of these to work on the exact same remote. So what I'm going to do is push and hold this button on the other receiver until the light turns red. I'm going to push this button. It's going to be my program button. It blinked, this blinked, and now this should blink and then turn off. Now, put both of these in the up position, and they both should work. One of the important things to remember with this remote, it is not a quick momentary press. You have to push and hold the button in order for these anchors to work. So if I just barely tap it, nothing happens. If I push it once, that one might move and that one might not move at all. What you need to do is push and hold it for get them both to work at the same time, and same thing for going up. Push and hold to get it to go up. I've been playing with these things and I noticed there's anywhere between like a 2 and 4 second delay from the time that you push the button to the time that anything actually happens. Now, in this particular instance, if you make a quick down and then back up and get them in the stowed position, it will not work pushing it down right away. You have to let this remote light turn off. See how it blinks and then turns off? Give it a few seconds and then it will reset itself and go back. If you put these in the up position and stow it and then try to push it down again before that light has a chance to turn off and the system has a second to reset, it will not work. Now that it's gone through its little blinking cycle on the remote, I can push these down and it'll work like normal. The second way that you can program this is called latching mode, and what that is you will push the button and it will automatically go down until it feels like it has enough pressure onto whatever it's holding, and it will stop on its own. In order to get it to go back up, you will just press it one time and it will automatically go back up. You can do this either way, momentary or latching, just depending on your needs and what you think is best. So let's go through the programming steps for latching mode. So the programming itself is pretty similar. The only thing we're going to add is one more push of the button, which is going to be the down button. So what we'll do is we'll press and hold this programming button until the light turns red. You're going to push the down button once. As soon as it blinks, you'll push it one more time. It will blink several times, and then it will turn itself off. This light's off, and now that's light off. So now let's test it and make sure that this anchor works first. So latching mode does work. To give it a second to reset, you can't just instantly push it. It won't go back up. You have to wait for the light to go off. It takes about 4 or 5 seconds to reset. And then you can push and hold it and it'll go back up. Now, to get the other one to do the exact same thing, just repeat the process. Push and hold the program button until the light in the receiver turns red. I'm going to push the down button. It's going to go off, and then I'm going to push it one more time. That blinked. This light's going off on the remote. Wait for that light to go off. I'm going to go ahead and pull this one up so they're both timed exactly the same. And we'll test them both to make sure they work. All right, so now they're both down. Let's pick them both back up. So there you go. That's how you program it for a latching mode. You can do either one. It does not matter. It's up to you. I would try them both and see which one you like best. Now that I got both of them programmed, I can reinstall the covers. It's got 4 Phillips head screws, 1 in each corner. Now, a couple things you need to keep in mind. If you're going to run these on your boat all the time and you're only going to use one remote, I would keep your second remote somewhere safe inside your boat, inside of a Ziploc bag, so that this doesn't get soaking wet. It says that it is water resistant, but I would still put it in a Ziploc bag to keep water away from it. Also, if you're going to run these in your boat all the time, you're going to need to keep a Phillips head screwdriver that fits these little 4 screws that go on this cover. In case this one ever goes dead and you need to reprogram this one, you're going to need to remove that cover and go through that programming process. I have tried it and I cannot get 2 remotes programmed at the exact same time, because once you push that programming button, it deletes any previous programming that it had. So if I was to go and do this right now and push that programming button, it would lose functionality on this remote until I went through the program setting and then repaired this remote. The other thing I will caution you on is the mounting of these boxes. I would, if at all possible, mount them up as high as you can get them so that you do not have to worry about these sitting in water if it rains or if you forget to turn your bilge pump on or anything like that. I have these mounted about 6 inches up off the subfloor of this boat. That way I can still get to the switches and manually operate each one of these, but it's high enough up to where if this boat does take on some water or gets some rain, at least I don't have to worry about the inside of this box getting wet. Now, it does have a gasket on the inside of it right here. This little white thing that you see is a gasket. It will help keep water from getting inside of it, but again, even though it says it's water resistant, that doesn't mean that it needs to be sitting in standing water. Last thing to remember is the battery that you have these shallow water anchors hooked to. These things are voltage sensitive. So if your battery is drained down to the point to where it's low, I would say below 12.4, 12.3 volts, you may have some intermittent function issues with these. I had a battery earlier that we were testing this out on. It got down to about 12.3 and they were working, but they weren't fully working. It's like I had to push the button, let it reset for a few minutes, then it would reset again. And all it was battery voltage. As soon as I hooked it up to the battery charger, got the battery back charged again, it works just fine. So remember, this thing is voltage specific. It needs to be on a 12 volt only battery. Do not put these on 24 volt. Do not put these on your 36 volt trolling motor battery. 12 volt only, and make sure your battery is charged or at least has more than 12.4 volts, and you should be good to go.
I don't care what anyone says, dude. That shit's cool as fuck.
Dude, I want them so bad. Even though I know they would get in my way, and I know I'm going to get a fish tangled around one, and I'm going to cuss.